Hey there, it's time to look at SUI development across the weekly and daily chart again through the Wyckoff lens. So here, we're seeing this dotted line where it's showing the higher lows. These two are sign of weaknesses that's been developed since April, and then the other one near the end of June. So right now, there was a very deep, long candlestick last week, and now it's coming back down as well, and even though we had some early gain this week. So what's happening here is like last time we said, oh, it's probably another high point LPSY, and now it's coming back down. So basically the demand has been tested twice, both in early May and then later on end of last month, all the way into earlier the beginning of this month. So at this moment the price is trying to come down, and if it stays above this dotted line, it may be a good news for whoever seeking for a rebound. But if this is really LPSYs after an upthrust of the distribution, it's not something very positive if you're looking for the price to go to the upside, because once it comes down, it may well come to test its white line again. That's where the sign of weakness back in late March, early April was. That's around $1.88. So right here I haven't bring in the rainbow lines yet. I'll bring it in the next session. So basically those rainbow lines, I can show you this one, are these key levels for each of the individual assets. So I've added these to most of it, most of the coins or cryptos that I cover. So later on I'll add it back to here. And let's go to the daily, while the big picture is showing a price decline after the LPSY. So last week we talked about, or asked a question, is the price heading towards another sign of weakness? And indeed, through the development of the past week, so we had our session last Tuesday on the 29th. So back then I put a tag over here whether that was the sign of weakness being developed, and initially it found support on the 31st, that means Thursday, and then rebound a little, but immediately the following 2 days it came down to this yellow support line at around 3.27. That's where the sign of weakness ended up at, and now it seems like in the past 2 days an LPSY, the last point of supply, has been developed. So if we take a look at what happened a few months back, like since late April, early May, all the way to mid-late June, we look at this upthrust over here. Let me drag the chart down a little. So in mid-May we had an upthrust, and then now in late July we have another. What happened after the mid-May upthrust was three, well actually there were 4 LPSYs. So meaning it continued to decline, but there were some rebound within the downward channel, and a bigger one maybe is a fake movement to like fake whoever who think it's heading for a bull run again in the daily time frame. But then quickly it turns out it's the massive drop to the selling climax. So that was what happened between mid-May and all the way to end of June. So within 5 to 6 weeks time, that was the chain of events that happened. Now we are just about 1 week in, a little bit more than 1 week into like the post-upthrust period, with 9 days, the 9th day now. So is this going to develop something similar? Because the current LPSY is around the same level as the second one back in end of May. So if a similar downward channel is being developed, then it'll be interesting to see whether it's going to, the price is going to bounce within this channel. So quickly we can draw a channel box that's about, while it's been the run towards the down or lower point is being developed, we have to be prepared to adjust the box along the time or along the days when this further develops. So what we can see here is it's finding support, but it's coming back to retest this yellow support again. So if you're you have been with my sessions, you notice there's a triangle here. So if it really successfully finds support, there is likely a chance, the chance is more likely that it will break outside of this downward channel if this yellow line is strong enough. But if it isn't, because this yellow line is basically formed by the automatic reaction back in early May, and then the sign of weakness back in late May within the same month, and eventually there's some support found over here during mid-July. So it's only 3 points over there that's scattered across roughly about 2.5 months. This support, while it's, I would say, it's kind of having a certain strength, but it's not crazily solid. So I won't be surprised if it really breaks below and eventually gets to a point where the last selling climax was at around $2.44. Remember, it's always a range. Even here, you see it went so deep to $2.30 before it closes at around $2.44. So basically the uptrend is over. So this white line is no longer useful for us, and then this downward channel is what we're trying to observe now and see whether the breakout happens in the next few days, because we're getting very close to the tip. So I believe in the next 1 or 2 days, either the yellow support line will be broken, or it will break outside of this upward channel and maybe showing us another LPSY. It can be staying flat or similar level as the previous LPSY that's just happened yesterday and today, or it can go a bit higher. But remember, this the second test and the buying climax resistance level in between before the top yellow line. So LPSY and other LPSY is something that can happen, and then obviously it can go straight if it doesn't break out. It can go straight and come down to a new accumulation cycle. So that means a selling climax may be waiting somewhere. So if it really happens and quick enough, because last time from the last LPSY to the selling climax, it took 11 days. So if it takes similar time to develop the selling climax, by next session will be somewhere halfway or 60% towards that point. So let's see whether it is the case that it rebound, or is it the case that it really dies down to the selling climax and starts a new chain of accumulation. Because here in the weekly time frame, okay, so let me make this box to appear in the daily only. So because in the weekly time frame we can see it's coming down from the LPSY, and I said it's going to seek support at around this yellow dotted upward trend line. So if it is really coming down all the way to this line, that means the daily is going to further decline. So that's why I say maybe it's higher chance that it's heading towards a selling climax. If it fluctuates over here, that's still a possibility. By then, that means this weekly candle will continue to shake within the current range. Then in the daily, we'll be able to see some new LPSYs over there before it fully declines to the selling climax, if that's where the weekly ended up with. So let me put it in another way if it's not easy to catch. So basically, if this week's candle, the price still wiggle along the same range, that's where we see more LPSYs in the daily charts. If the weekly chart is showing a sharp drop here, that means in the daily chart it will go all the way to the selling climax, like this. So one way is this one, the other way is like this. So two different options, assuming the price is really heading towards this yellow dotted line. If it doesn't, so there is a support level over here that's around $3.30. If it finds support here, much like last week, then the thing that would happen is like, I mean, as in daily, if it rebounds here, showing us a little LPSY before another like test to the support line, then in the daily, you can see, oh, I don't want this line, so you can see this little bump over here. So it may not go as high as the yellow line at the top, but it's still a higher LPSY or higher bump than the previous one we have at the beginning of this month, just 2 days ago basically. So that's the picture for SUI. So stay safe, trade safe, hope you make more profit. See you.